You don't want to be the weak link, especially as the woman. Like I felt that pressure, but it was more pressure I put on myself than the guys I worked with put on me. So I would say like release that, because they didn't ever think you were the weak link. In fact, they would always be like, why are you here? Like I showed up to work both mornings that I gave birth later that day.
What? What more about you should we know?
I got married right before I started residency, literally the weekend after I graduated from medical school. And then during my residency, I had 2 daughters. So I was pregnant twice during residency. Wow. It was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
So now I'm the mom of 2 adult daughters, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And I'm a busy orthopedic surgeon in our community. And yeah, at the age of 46, I found a great hobby in ballroom dancing. And that's really my passion now, aside from my work and my kids. So that's me.
That is awesome. I want to talk all the things. And you also started a business that is a platform to help empower other moms that are in healthcare and working, because
yes,
as I mentioned, I mean, I can't imagine trying to balance those demands and still feeling like, hey, what about me? You know, like as a mom, it's really like that servant style leadership, just whatever they need at any given time, especially when they're young. And then fast forward, you know, you're battling, if you're a surgeon, a lot of times you're on call, or you have long days where you anticipate surgery to take X amount of hours and it ends up being double that.
Very true. We still have a long way to go with it, actually, but it is the baby of myself and my best friend, Lisa, who is a PA. So then the working mom was born. And then we also thought we could, you know, help working moms in any field really, but ultimately our sort of expertise is healthcare. So we kind of landed on this in 2020 and started like just developing ideas. So we started a blog. Our goal ultimately is to write a series of books to deliver, like handbooks to deliver our content that way. So we've almost finished the first like introductory book. So we're hoping that we can get that out either probably we hoped for the end of this year. Maybe it's more like beginning of next year. And then to follow that up with a series of like handbooks to cover all the different like topics that we kind of feel are important and give our, you know, strategies and experiences. I, again, have now 2 adult daughters. They're 22 and 24. And all the time people ask me like, how did you do it? Because again, of the job and, you know, people who know my kids, they're amazing. I'm a little biased, but you know, they're both
pictures of you guys on LinkedIn. They seem great.
Thanks. They're both college graduates now. They're both just great humans. So I had a lot of help from my parents, of course, but our goal is to say, look, it can be done. And, you know, I did a lot of little things along the way to, you know, make sure I could be as present as possible for my kids, despite the fact that, you know, I did have to go out to work in the middle of the night sometimes, or there were things I missed, school events or whatever, you know, that. So one of my big things is you can't do it without help. You just have to put the right help in place.
Takes a village.
It literally does, you know. So, and my other thing is that in having many conversations with my now adult daughters and looking back on things that either I had to miss or times when I'm, you know, home late. I mean, they knew to add an hour on to whenever I said I was going to be home, particularly on a surgery day. You know, they'd be shocked if I walked in when I said I was going to be there. So they learned about, you know, managing those situations at a pretty young age. And when I talk to them now, they're like, Mom, that's all we knew. I mean, you know, we grew up with you always working. And, you know, even if some of our friends' moms didn't work and maybe they were around more, you made yourself, you know, as present as you possibly could be. And we realized that.
Yeah.
And things that I missed, I'm certain bothered me more than it bothered them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, and they can tell me that now. So I feel like I have a really good perspective because I can look back over all of these years and all of these phases of motherhood and work and be able to give some like good, solid, genuine, you know, advice and support. So yes, so our goal is building a community of, you know, working moms in healthcare or just working moms in general and offering what we can for support, advice, strategies for, you know, for managing it. So
yeah. And I would say too, like you probably did more of a, like you're saying, like it was more probably difficult for you than for them.
Yeah.
But they watched their mom be a total, excuse my language, but badass, you know, with like
Yeah.
be able to like go out and do all the things. And nobody is perfect. Nobody's going to be able to do all the things. Like we all have the same 40 hours in a week. For surgeons, a lot of times it's a lot more than that.
Right.
But, you know, they now had that role model of should they be in a position where they're like, hey, like nobody's coming for me, you know, nobody's here to pick up the pieces. Like it's on me.